Hello everybody and welcome back to our Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at
Des cagouilles dans le Garouil.
But before that, this video is brought to you by Donald Smart and Matthew Young. Thank you for being farm barons. So the
Des cagouilles dans le Garouil.
map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now, while the map download is just 290 megabytes, this map has 23 required mods. So after we factor in the 23 required mods, we're looking at a total download size of 961 megabytes. Those required mods include the old storage shed, shed volage, flower crusher, garage 18x7, renovated house, modern house set, old warehouse, slurry selling station, scrap for the farm, small modern house, A-frame cabin, stone agricultural annex, attic, weighing stations, big Polish garage, Klaus Dominator 108, New Holland 8340, metal shelter pack, European decorative buildings pack, harvester shed, old small building pack, ivory farm garage, and medium modern house. Now, I'm not sure too much on why we have some equipment listed as required mods, other than the fact that it is included as starting machinery. I feel like maybe machinery should be left up to the player at that point with respect to mods. Now let me read you some of the description. Well, this map is based on an area in France, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce any of these names. This map includes a basic grain farm with small equipment, 90 fields from small to large for medium-sized equipment, 350 arable hectares, 4 points of sale, 1 BGA, a biomass heating plant, several customizable areas to create your own farm, collectibles scattered throughout the map, and those collectibles are from the French map on FS22, so those are the game cartridges. Several wooded areas for forest activities, custom missions, transporting wood, and felling dead trees. So that does include the FS25 custom missions that relate to forestry. This map does have a custom soil map. Credit to the MA7 team for the license plates. With that said, let's jump back over here to the map and, well, check out the PDA. Now, this is a rather interesting map where we have small fields along the western side of the map, and as we make our way more toward the middle, the fields really open up to be much, much larger. Overall, we have a few little farm areas over here on the western side. There's one over here at Farmland ID 113, but the vast majority of this map is dedicated to agriculture. We do have all the standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 25 available on this map, including onions if you have the Highlands Fishing expansion activated. Now, I've turned off grass simply because it makes the PDA look a little bit better for this video. With respect to your starting farmland, you start out by owning Farmland ID 1, which does include the main starting farm, as well as Farmland ID 15, 19, 18, and 38. Other things of note, we have a horse pasture at Farmland ID 11. We also have bees at Farmland ID 102. We have a BGA at Farmland ID 108. We also have a secondary farm area at Farmland ID 113 without a farmhouse. There's also another area here at Farmland ID 7 that does not include a farmhouse, as well as Farmland ID 106, which does include a buildable farmhouse. And we'll talk about that here in a moment. Now, with respect to the custom soil map, let's go ahead and see how that is being applied to these fields. As you can see, the majority of the map is going to be loam or silty clay. We do have a bit of loamy sand and sandy loam coming in here on the eastern side of the map, as well as over here toward the west. And toward the southern part of the map, we are getting a bit, again, of some sandy loam and loamy sand encroaching into the middle of the map. With respect to our crop counter, we do have the standard FS25 crop counter available to us. We start out by owning 11 chickens in our chicken coop. We do have contracts available on this map, including the new stone picking, wood transport, and dead tree contracts. We have 3 productions available to us on this map, one of which we could buy upright. The other 2 are going to require us to purchase the land. In order to purchase the flower crusher, we're going to have to buy farmland ID 118. In order to buy the BGA, we're going to have to purchase farmland ID 108. We have 4 sell points scattered around the map. With respect to our vehicles, should we choose to not own the starting farm, we will also not have any starting machinery. You see that all of our equipment is owned, none of it is leased, and our New Holland 8340, well, it does need a bit of repair. We have our 20 collectibles, and as I mentioned, these are going to be the game cartridges. Speaking of those collectibles, let's go ahead and show you where one of them is, and you'll get to find the other 19 right here on our little table. Now, with respect to chickens, it's kind of interesting the fact that we have our egg spawn point here, but we've got to walk through the shrubbery in order to get to our feed trigger and our buy trigger. We're going to be able to store a total of 50 chickens in this coop. We do have our farmhouse sleep trigger. And I was able to sell most of the things on this farm, but some of the deco items did remain. Inside our garage, we have our pickup truck, we have our wardrobe trigger, and let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet while we're at it. We start out with the New Holland T7 230 medium tractor, as well as the New Holland 8340 small tractor, and our 2017 pickup truck. We've got the Farm Tech EDK 650 trailer, as well as the Big Body 750S trailer. We've got the Limkin Samgard 9500 cultivator, and the Agrimaz POV 5XL plow. For our seeding needs, we have the Great Plains Solid Stand 1500, and for planting, we have the Presea 4500 2C Super. We've got the Amazon ZA 2300 fertilized spreader, and then we have the Hardy Arion 5200 Delta Force herbicide and liquid fertilizer sprayer. We have the Dominator 108 SL Maxi harvester. We have the Kloss C510 header and the C510 header trailer. We wrap it all up with a 1,750 kilogram front weight. With respect to mods and DLCs, this map does not have any custom vehicles or implements, but we do have a pair of vehicles that are flagged as required mods, and therefore those are showing up here. They are again the Kloss Dominator 108 and the New Holland 8340. Continuing with our farm tour, we do have a maintenance trigger here on the outside of this shed. And inside the shed, we do have a tote of herbicide. We have a couple pallets of seed. Nice orange trailer going on there. We've got our farm machinery. And that is going to be pretty much the starting farm location. Now, I mentioned farmland ID 106. That's going to be located right here. And we do have a buildable farmhouse. And if we own this farmland, we will be able to build out this farmhouse. This farmhouse is going to require 6,500 wooden beams, 11,500 long planks, 5,500 planks, 29,500 cement bags, 16,500 cement bricks, 4,500 roof plates, and 6,500 units of furniture. The farmhouse continues, or the farm continues around to this area. This is also possibly a semi-viable farm area because we can sell some of the buildings at this farmland. This is going to be where our flower crusher production is located, right there. Of course, we do need to buy the land in order to make use of that production. Let's circle back to farmland ID 11, where we do have the horse pasture. Farmland ID 11 is going to include a farmhouse located here. You will need to put down your own sleep trigger. Then we have our horse pasture, and we do have 3 horses in this pasture. Again, we'll need to buy the land in order to make use of these triggers. Now, I was surprised at how many structures on this map I could sell, assuming I actually owned the land. For example, this could be a little bit of a viable farm. We've got one big shed and a house. We could put a sleep trigger there. If we own the land over here, several of these houses also become sleep triggers. As well as a nice usable area here where we have our bale sell point and our animal dealer. If we continue to make our way down south between fields 8 and 16, we're going to come to one of our grain sell points. Now you will find throughout the map we have these large power towers across the map and therefore across our fields. These towers do not have collisions, so your AI helpers and, well, you yourself will be able to simply drive straight through. Farmland ID 100, we do have a sell point. It's going to be located right here. And we've got a little tennis court action going on, as well as a soccer field. Or football field for everyone outside the US. We really get a nice idea of the lay of the land as we fly over here to the eastern side of the map. Nothing too extreme. We do have some nice subtle rolling hills. Directly in front of us, we have our cereal factory. And then to the north of our cereal factory, we have our biomass heating plant, sell point for logs and wood chips. And then we're going to find our vehicle shop. Our vehicle shop also has a refueling station. The deco equipment here is not going to be usable. We have our dealer trigger. And then we have our dealer purchase trigger. Modest sized area for our vehicles to spawn in here. Given the larger size of these fields, you may want to buy a little bit of stuff and then clear out. Now, as far as getting out of the shop, not the narrowest of areas here, but we do kind of quickly get into kind of some narrow roads to get around the corner. Right across from the vehicle shop, we have what I was calling the kind of secondary farm location, minus the farmhouse. These structures can be sold if you do own, again, Farmland ID 113. Continue our way to the north, we're going to find our biogas plant at Farmland ID 108. We're going to have 2 pull-through silage bunkers. We have our digester, as well as our dump point for slurry, and our fill point for digestate. And then, interesting enough, the vast majority of the rest of the map is pretty much dedicated to farmland. And man, oh man, there is a ton of farmland here. This map also has very good map boundaries. So as you are kind of playing the map right up here towards the map boundary, you probably aren't going to be overly distracted at the map boundary, which you're looking at right now, as opposed to the rest of the actual playable area. almost get kind of a kick out of the various sizes of these fields. And as we make our way towards the west, these fields are kind of getting smaller and smaller as we progress. Almost makes me feel as if the map author started building the map out over here on the west. And then once they kind of got a little bit into the map, things really opened up. And, well, the map author decided, I need to make these fields a bit bigger. So they have done so. Now, a lot of these fields are going to be easily merged into larger fields. So even if you buy these smaller ones, as you are getting started and you have less money, then you can merge them into larger fields. And then as you get even more money, well, you can expand further eastward. I'd love to know your all's thoughts down in the comments below with respect to this fabulous French map. And until next time, happy farming.